Hello traders, this is Rich from tradesight. This is a look at our market leading ETFs for the coming session. This is via our proprietary scans. This is going to be for St. Patrick's Day. That's Monday, March 17th, 2014. We had a pretty tough week with the market closing out 5 days out of 5 this week, and the ETFs got beat up by a fair amount here, but the selling seems to have kind of reached a little bit of a climax here, at least on Friday. We really didn't get any indication of downside for Monday morning, but we've got to see what's really going to be in store for next week on balance. So definitely take a look at the overall market preview as well as the individual ETF scans here. So let's take a look at the scans. Today we're not seeing any signals in the majors on either side. We do have a volume bump in the spiders and also the diamonds. The Qs tracked above average volume, but for today we don't have any indication either way if we're poised to move up or down for Monday. This week we're seeing a lot of downside signals throughout the week, but for Monday we're not really getting that. As far as the individual sectors go, there's a complete absence of sell signals here, but we do have a couple of indications on the buy side. We've got a contra candle in the TAN, the IYR, the XLY, and the IBB. This is all indicated that these things are at a point now where we're down, but we went down today and closed down, but closed above the open. So definitely keep an eye on that. We also have some volume bumps, which could be either a precursor to or actually a little bit of a selling climax in the XLI, XLU, the IBB, which also has a signal. We have a volume bump also in the OIH ETF that tracks the oil. Moving on to the commodities. Commodities had a really big week to the upside, a lot of flight to quality in the gold names, but we're starting to see a little bit of that being taken off the market today. We've got an RPS and a contra signal in the GLD, which represents the gold futures themselves, and also a volume bump. So we may have reached a short-term inflection point here. On the TLT, same thing. There was a flight to quality in the bonds. Bonds rolled back up to range high on the chart from the recent move, and now we're seeing a contra candle to the downside and trading about 1.5 the typical volume. As far as the foreign stuff goes, the EFA, the EWJ, and the EWZ all have contra candles to the upside. Those are bumps. The RSX doesn't have a signal, but note the volume here. Big volume, and it closed about 3.5% above the day's open. So even as they were liquidating stocks here in the U.S., or at least stepping out of the way on the bid side, we had some bidding for the Russian shares in the RSX. Moving on to the specials, not seeing any evidence here of the players from the larger time frame really exerting a lot of influence here as far as trying to get short. TVT's got a contra buy, which implies that there should be a little relief in the bonds tomorrow, or Monday rather, and we've got a volume bump there. FXP also has a volume bump. We've got a volume bump in the SSO and also the FAS. All right, guys, here's a look at the watch list. As far as the majors go here, the broad-based ETFs, we're 10 bars down on the countdown for the for the Comer, in the MDY, 11 days down in the IWM. So those could definitely qualify this coming week. Also, the 10 bars up, that is. Also, the MDY and the IWM are 10 days. Or 10 days along into the count, so we get a signal there. The IBB is 10 along, so definitely keep an eye on that. PPH is 13, and the XLY has a 13 locked in place right now, so that definitely could be interesting, especially if we get this aggressive Comer to lock that in as well. Nothing else is really all that close, but there's a lot of resistance out there on a bounce back. So definitely keep that in mind as we go forward for next week. All right, folks. As always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for tradesight, and please, if you find these videos informational, please give us a thumbs up.